Good morning, everybody. Hope you can all hear me from here.
Yes.
Very good. Well, I'll start my presentation today with where my journey started, which was back when I turned 40.
We'll get some hush in a minute. They're a bit of an unruly bunch, but we'll calm
I need a little bell.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start my talk today on when I turned 40. I turned 40, I was sad, alone and empty. My second marriage was on the rocks and just about to be finished, and I felt devastated at the feeling and sense of failure that I had with not being able to stay happily and healthily in a relationship. So that was when I started my journey of self-healing. So I spent 10 years on my own, looking at why love was difficult for me, what my truth was, and also accepting beauty, which I found really difficult as a young girl as well. So I'll just start with the love. Now for me, love came through validation from other people. So I'd call that others' worth, not self-worth. And I'm not sure whether anybody else can relate to that, but I got all my worth from what I did and what I could do for others. And of course that had me feeling quite empty lots of times, because when I didn't get that validation, I was alone with myself and my thoughts again. So part of my healing was to look at what I could do to bring self-love and my own validation of being, you know, a worthwhile human being was going to be part of my journey of healing. So when I was a young girl, a little girl, I was meant to be a Walter Douglas, but Wendy Irene arrived. And that was a common told story in our family, wasn't it, mate? And somehow this little soul decided that that meant I had to work extra hard to have people like me and to be accepted. So I became the sunshine of the family, the one that, you know, wanted to make everybody happy. But that became my job. And then my job became hairdressing. And hairdressing was to make people feel good and to be happy. So I was doing everything on the outside of me to actually make everybody happy, which gave me validation, that made me happy. But then again, of course, if I wasn't getting it, sad I got again. So the journey of healing that for myself was learning to take care of myself. So I had to start pulling back from being that person that was the job to go out and make people happy. I needed to make me happy. So I started meditating, I started writing, and of course this is where the book came. So I started writing every day. I got up early every morning just to write, because I didn't know what I was going to do with that. A lot of it was just to heal myself. And then all of a sudden, once I started to heal, there was some, well, what I thought was really great inspiration coming through me. So that's where Love, Truth and Beauty came from. And then the truth part of this. Well, the truth was I didn't think I was worthy, obviously, which is why I put so much value on others' worth. So to learn to be true to myself, I had to ask myself lots of questions. So every day I'd ask myself the question, what would love do here? What would I love to do if I could do anything I wanted to do? What is it that I love? What is my passion? What is my joy? So I started writing lists of things that I loved, and I started incorporating things like my grandmother's food. I loved some of my grandmother's recipes, and they comforted me and made me feel good. I loved the smell of my grandmother's soap. I used to remember the smell when I went into her bathroom, and when I gave her a hug, she smelled of this lovely smell. So I always looked for things that actually made me feel good. So I started to add all that into my world as well. And all of a sudden, little by little, I started to heal. I started to allow my true self to come out. And my true self I actually really liked. I didn't have to work hard at that because, you know, who I am now is who I am. This is the real me. Whereas before I always felt like I had to put on a mask to go out, to deal with people, then I come home and back into me. Whereas now I feel like I'm more present and more willing to be who I am wherever I am.